Hey guys, this is another edition of the Retro Review. Before I get into the review, I do want to mention that this is going to be the final Retro Review for a couple of months. I figured take the summer off of Retro Review, kick it back up when all the kiddies are back in school, probably after Labor Day. So this is going to be the final review for quite a while. Um, So, in the supersized vote, we had a tie for the second video to be reviewed between Wrestling's Country Boys and the Best of the WWF Volume 3. So, in every tiebreaker, the final decision goes to me. And I felt since we haven't done a Best of the WWF in a long time, I figure that should be the retro review. So this is the best of the WWF Volume 3. This video is hosted by Vince McMahon, and let's just get right to the action. Opening match is Superfly Jimmy Snuka against Rowdy Roddy Piper in a Fijian strap match. Basically, it's a cute way of saying it's a strap match. I was surprised at how short this match was. Maybe 6-7 minutes long. Not a long match. The finish comes when Snuka jumps off the top, hits the Superfly leap on the Piper, and pins him 1-2-3 in the ring. Superfly Jimmy Snuka beats Roddy Piper in the strap match. After the match, Piper attacks Snuka. Typical heel stuff. But this was actually a fun match to watch. To kick off this video. Then the next match is Cowboy Bob Orton against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Even though they clipped a couple minutes of it, this is a very, very good match. I mean, you just will not find a more better match. But in that time, in 1985, than Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Cowboy Bob Orton, the match has a very weird ending. Orton jumps off the top rope, hits Steamboat with his cast. The referee had told Orton continuously during this match to stop hitting Steamboat with the cast, so the ref had enough, called for the bell. Steamboat wins by disqualification, but it is a very good match. Then we get a mini profile on the British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid. We have two matches. Starts off with, I believe this is for Davey Boy, it's his Garden debut. For Dynamite, I know he's been there in the past. Pardon me. So, in this match, they team up against Rene Goulet and the unpredictable Johnny Rodz. And this is a really good match. This is a very good match. I enjoyed this match. The match ends with the Bulldogs. Davey Boy holds Dynamite, Davey Boy holds one of his opponents on his shoulders. Dynamite climbs the top rope, jumps onto the opponent, does the diving headbutt, does it on Johnny Rodz, gets the 3 count. The crowd goes crazy. This is the first time they've seen this team in the Garden, and it's just a fantastic way to make your debut in Madison Square Garden as a tag team. Then we get another tag match with the Bulldogs, this time against the Hart Foundation. And we all know the series of matches these two teams had. This one is unfortunately clipped a lot, and the match ends in a draw because of curfew. For you younger fans, believe it or not, back in the day, they had a curfew for wrestling shows. I believe in New York, the curfew was 11 o'clock at night. So this match went to the curfew, so basically it's a draw. Then we go to the TNT show. Very interesting series of vignettes with George the Animal Steel at Dr. Sigmund Ziff's office. Captain Lou Albano is there. They're trying to cure George the Animal Steel. So Dr. Ziff, performs the famous Watchtik Vachtabach, Vach to Vach. And then, George does this good telling of when he was a kid, and there's one part where he sticks his tongue out and he's like, and the doctor's like, oh, a green tongue, what is that? So then, after the first round, we see the second, where he gives him shock treatment, and George Steele talks in his normal voice, like, home. And then, after the doctor raises the voltage up a little again, he goes, how now, brown cow? And then the doctor raises it a little bit too much, and the animal goes crazy, and Lou Albano's upset, and he's going to sue the doctor, blah, 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 blah. So then we go to a 6-man tag involving George the Animal Steele. He teams up with Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo to face Adrian Adonis, Big John Studd, and Bobby the Brain Heenan, a very rare in-ring appearance for Bobby Heenan. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. This is another good match. This is a fun, entertaining match to watch. And really, you can tell the focus of the match is George Steele, trying to keep him calm, trying to keep him together. I love the ending to the match. All 6 guys are in the ring. They go crazy. George gets thrown out of the ring. He gets a chair. Heenan goes out of the ring. Studd goes out of the ring. Adonis goes out of the ring. And they're trying to tell George, put the chair down, put the chair down. Referee's, telling him put the chair down. So George just takes his chair, hits the referee in the back with a chair, costs his team the match, and Adonis, Studd, and Heenan get the win. But it's funny that, you lose a match because you hit the referee with the chair. That's something I think a lot of people have always wanted to do. So, good way to lose a match, in my opinion. Then we go to a very interesting series of events involving Bruno Sammartino. It starts off with them showing a video clip of him inside the steel cage against Ivan Koloff. Then we go to highlights of WrestleMania 1, where his son David Sammartino is facing Brutus Beefcake. So we get the final moments of the match there, where Johnny Valiant gets involved and Bruno gets involved. Everybody gets involved in that match, ends in a double DQ. Then we go to the match where Bruno Sammartino returns out of retirement after 5 years in Madison Square Garden. He teams up with his son to face Luscious Johnny Valiant and Brutus Beefcake. Arnold Skaaland, his manager, is at ringside. And I'm going to say it again. This is a very good match. This is a very, entertaining match. I honestly forgot how good this tape is. The way I'm telling you, what's on it, and then for me watching this, it's very good. And watching it, Bruno had not lost a step back in '85. Yes, he may have gotten a little older, but he had not lost a step at all. And he looked very good in the ring. But the ending is a bit surprising because it's David who ends up scoring the fall on Johnny Valiant, winning the match for the team. I guess I'm, curious why would Bruno not score the fall in his return match, after a 5-year layoff. But that's really amazing that, David Sammartino got the pin, and that's probably the highlight of his career because David and Bruno had a disagreement and, their relationship went downhill. So then we go back to the TNT show and we see King Kong Bundy and Jimmy Hart there, and King Kong Bundy tries on wigs. You sort of have to see it to believe it. So then after that, we see King Kong Bundy. He's going up against Tony Garea, and Gorilla Monsoon, is saying, oh, there's no way Bundy's 450 pounds. He's at least 500 pounds, And this is probably the only match of the entire tape where, I wasn't too excited. I mean, it's an okay match, but, it's sort of just there. Match ends with Bundy hitting the avalanche on Garea, then the splash, getting the 3 count. It's over. King Kong Bundy wins. Then, the final match on the tape. an 18-man battle royal, $30,000 on the line. And the people in this, it's a who's who of wrestling. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Big John Studd, Mil Mascaras, Ivan Putski, Dick Murdoch, Adrian Adonis, Mr. Fuji, Samu, Paul Orndorff, Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas, so many more guys in this match. And there's one point, my favorite part of this entire Battle Royal, and I never get sick. Every time I watch this video, I never get sick of this part. There's this one wrestler in there, his name is Bob Boyer. Oh man, this poor guy. Andre splashes Boyer. And here comes everybody else that's still in the match. And everybody, goes on top of Andre, and it's like Murdoch gets on top, Fuji gets on top, Mascaras, Putski, all these guys go on top of Andre the Giant. And here's poor Bob Boyer on the bottom of the pile, probably getting his ribs and lungs and, everything squashed into him. I love that spot to this day. It's absolutely hilarious. This poor guy, over, like 2,000-3,000 pounds probably, because Andre's over 500 pounds alone, Stud's 300, Hulk's 300, so right there you got 1,100 pounds, and then you add on everybody else. This poor guy, oh. But the ending to this Battle Royal is fantastic, because Rocky Johnson eliminates Orndorff, and then Orndorff pulls Johnson through the ropes. He beats up Johnson. Then Johnson sees that he's bleeding, goes crazy, eliminates Murdoch, and then I think he gets eliminated at the same time. And then, Fuji goes out, Samu goes out, Adonis goes out, Mil Mascaras goes out. So the final four guys are Hogan, Andre, Putski, and Stud. So Hogan and Andre are fighting each other on one side of the ring. This is 3 years before WrestleMania 3. And then you got Putski with Big John Studd. Studd eliminates Putski. And then Studd seeing Hogan and Andre fighting over that top rope. Studd goes over, picks up Andre's foot, eliminates Andre. And in the process, Hogan goes over as well. Big John Studd wins the Battle Royal, wins the $30,000. So, after the match, Hogan and Andre double team on Big John Studd to get just a little measure of revenge at the end. And that is the end of the best, the WWF Volume 3. So what did I think of this tape? It is absolutely marvelous. This is a must-have for any wrestling fan. It doesn't matter if you like WWF or NWA or AWA, ECW, it doesn't matter. This is a must-buy for many reasons. 1, the Battle Royal. 2, Steamboat and Orton. 3, the profile on the Bulldogs. 4, Bruno Sammartino. The strap match. There's so much good stuff on this tape. There really is so much good stuff on the videotape. Now, usually when I am done with 3 videos in the same set, I do a, sort of like an Olympic thing, gold, silver, bronze. Now, in this third released volume set, the 3 videos, besides Best of the WWF Volume 3, include WWF's Biggest, Smallest, Strangest, Strongest, and Roddy Piper's Greatest Hits. So, I'm going to put them in order, with gold being, you gotta get this, silver being, the middle, and bronze being the bottom. But you know what? All 3 of these are good. So, oh, man. Alright. Best of the WWF Volume 3 gets the gold, Roddy Piper's Greatest Hits gets silver, and WWF's Biggest, Smallest, Strangest, Strongest gets the bronze, although all 3 of those videos are good videos to buy. Any one of those 3 could really get gold, but I'm going to go with Best of the WWF Volume 3 as the best of those 3 videos. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this retro review. Remember, I'm going to be taking the summer off on the retro review, so I'll be back about September, so in about 2 months after Labor Day. I'll kick this right back up again so you guys can enjoy more retro reviews.